What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am Mark with The Bettor Mark, and let's get into Tuesday, March 5th. We're going to talk about the college basketball slate. Guys, this is one where we're really starting to get that itch, right? March Madness just around the corner. Conference tournaments have begun, and this is one where we look into a huge slate, a lot of great matchups, a lot of good opening round matchups, guys. We're really looking into this contest, and I have some really good analysis and breakdown I'm going to give you guys. We're going to recap yesterday's picks as well, able to split on the night. But this is one, too, guys. Make sure you all subscribe down below. And also, we're going to be running a giveaway here on my X, where we're going to do a Fanatics giveaway, jersey of your choice. All you got to do is follow these simple instructions. Really simple to enter, guys. Subscribe on YouTube, follow me on X, and then also share this pinned comment on X. I'll put a link down below in the description with a few of your buddies, few of your friends, and have them enter as well. And guys, this is where right before the March Madness tournament kicks off, one lucky subscriber will win a jersey of their choice within reason, courtesy of fanatics.com. Okay, but this is where we're going to get into it, and let's get back into my plays where we recap yesterday. We had basically a split within the Texas. Baylor took the under. A lot of steam to the under, too. That number crept up and able to sail a huge first half. That's one where it covered the over with ease, so not getting it done there. And also, we did have a win within the Duke Blue Devils, winning by double digits, where we took them as a -6 point favorite on the road, taking on NC State. Just one where I thought the wrong team was getting the love in that contest. A lot of sharps were on NC State. That seemed to be the professional side, and I know it was a little chalky taking Duke. In full disclosure, I told you guys that before I locked in that pick. But within sports betting, unfortunately, despite popular belief within some of the professional gamblers and sharps out there, that chalk does actually come home sometimes, and the public is allowed to win. It happens. Not too often, but guys, it does happen. So we were on the public side taking the Dukies, but that's one where they were able to get it done on the road with NC State. But let's get into this card. It is a great one, guys. I hope you guys are all excited for the tournaments, March Madness. We're going to be breaking down all of these picks, okay? And first, let's get into what we like to talk about within North Carolina and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, okay? This is one where it's a huge number. It's crept up as high as 15.5 in some places. And Micah Shrewsbury, coach of Notre Dame, coming over from Penn State, he struggled. He had some trials and tribulations early on in the college basketball season. And one where, full disclosure, I am a Notre Dame fan, more so on the football side, but I do follow all the sports. And this is one where a lot of the fans were in outrage. Players were thinking about transferring. Players were packing it in. It was kind of one of them scenes from a movie, kind of like Coach Carter, one of those movies where the basketball coach comes in and just completely flips the team upside down. Good players are gone. Good players are on the bench. He got it done. He got it done, I think, in my personal opinion. And he has his team playing exceptionally, exceptionally hard right here, right now. And that's one where, guys, we look into this number being a little too high. I think this is where you see this number we creep up a little even higher, I think closer to game time. But, North Carolina, I don't know. This is one where how much are they going to get up for this game hosting Notre Dame? Somewhat of what we look into a mismatch line. I would expect this number to be closer to 12. So I see some value taking the Irish plus 15.5. Lock it in where we take the points in that contest. Okay, next, we're going to get into one of the games where, this is going to be one of the most bet games of the slate. Illinois hosting Purdue. This is one where you look at Purdue. Yes, clear-cut number one seed. Yes, clear-cut back-to-back National Player of the Year, Zach Edey. Clear-cut, probably first overall draft pick, Zach Edey. I love it. I love all that noise. Give me the noise on the opposite direction. This is one where it's going to be a popular play for most. Back Purdue. Oh my gosh, why is Purdue only a 1-point underdog? Why are they an underdog? Well, I know we saw Illinois get kind of destroyed and dismantled by Penn State on the road, but this is where a Illini, say that word 10 times, Illini team is a way better team at home, okay? So we're going to be taking them on the money line. Okay, I'm just taking Illinois to get the job done, hosting Purdue. It's kind of a contrarian play in a sense where it seems a little fishy, don't you think? Just taking that number one seed with a short, small number. But this is where you look at a Jekyll and Hyde type performance from Purdue, right? Great team on the road, great team at home. But this is why we're seeing Purdue as an underdog, because they are 4-5 against the spread on the road. 8-10-1 in conference play. So when we look at this game, it's similar to the narrative within the North Carolina game in a sense where how much is Purdue going to get up for this game? Getting basically all their yes, it's a top 25 matchup, but guys, it's something where you look into this. How much are they going to get up for it? They're focused on the bigger picture, right? Getting blown out and losing to a 16 seed. I don't think they got blown out. Apologies, but losing to a 16 seed last year in the tournament. This is one where I think they're clearly focused on March and later on in the big dance more so than just a going on the road and playing a top 25 matchup. So lock it in. Second play of the game, we're going to be taking Illinois -1, okay? And then next, we're going to get into a game where we go to the Horizon League, IUPUI, taking on Cleveland State on the road. And this is a Cleveland State team, guys, 18-13, but they're one that can absolutely ball. This is one where they've been one of my favorite teams to back on the season. And if we look at the actual numbers and some of the metrics and betting trends, we can find that Cleveland State kind of has an advantage here. I know this is a big number, 16.5 is what we're seeing, but we're looking at a team within the IUPUI Jaguars, 3-25 on the season, 8-19 against the spread, covering basically 2-2-1, and Cleveland State very similar, but this is one where at home I think there's a little bit of an advantage. I think taking them within margin. And IUPUI recently losing at Cleveland State by 9. I think this is one where you're a little bit more leveraged. I think this is a back-to-back. I know it's hard to beat a team twice, yada, 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 that whole mantra, but this number is 16.5 for a reason, okay? There's a little bit more of a will to play, a little bit more of a motivation to play, and IUPUI will be a little bit more leveraged in the tournament to win the game, not just have a good performance. So I think towards the end of the game, this is where you start to see some of these actually get out of reach. So 16.5, lock it in. I'm going to be taking Cleveland State -16.5, okay? And then this is another one where we're going to get into Queens and Stetson. This is a rematch of a game that we recently had some an official play on the last matchup, okay? This is one where the total was able to get home, and that was that controversial basket where DraftKings ended up paying some people, didn't pay some people. But just going to throw that out there. I really haven't used DraftKings to make any wagers since this event. So in full transparency, just want to let you guys know what exactly is going on in that situation. If you want to know more, please message me down below. I'll try to fill you in. Because I know a lot of you guys had the over in that Queen-Stetson game as well. And I think it was teetering on that 157, 158, 59, 160. So it depends where you got it. If you got the worst part of the number, you probably lost that bet. But early on, if you took it, when we basically made this video, you were able to cash that ticket. But this is one where we just saw Queens and Stetson play. I think they played, and quite frankly, guys, we saw them play last night. And these are two teams that basically, this is a huge over spot. But if we look at Queens recently, it's not one where I'm really looking to back them, okay? I think that's something where I think this number's a little bit too high based on the first matchup. It's one where I look into this game and I see some value on the under, kind of a contrarian play as well. When you look at the net metrics, you look at the betting trends, you look at the stats per game and so on and so forth, and just how this matchup sets up, you would think this would be an 80-80 kind of contest, covering the 160 with ease. But I'm going to go contrarian. I'm going to go with the under in this. A little bit more of a tense matchup, I think, within this performance. A little bit more on the line than the first matchup. So lock it in. We're going to be taking that under. Let me find the actual number for you guys, what it is right now. 161.5 in the Queens-Stetson matchup. That's 5'11", 5'12 on the card, okay? And then we're going to get to St. John's DePaul. This will be my last official play, and I do want to highlight a couple other big matchups down the road, but then get you guys on your way. This is one where I think St. John's absolutely takes DePaul behind the barn and beats the brakes off them. I think this is one where we're seeing a 19-point spread for a reason. I think Rick Pitino has no soul when it comes to getting the job done. I think he's going to absolutely win with margin. DePaul probably maybe one of the worst teams in college basketball, and their only performance as of late of any record was them basically having a 1-point difference within the Georgetown matchup just recently. So that was it. And Georgetown, guys, is probably one of the, if not 1A, 1B with DePaul. They're in that bottom 5, in my personal opinion, one of the worst teams in college basketball as well. So that's where we're going to look at this game. I truly see St. John's getting the job done. I know they're 17-12. I know they're on the road, so on and so forth. But this is one where I really think that DePaul just has no prayer. And I think you look at St. John's, basically 27 points per game is the margin of defeat, I think, for DePaul. I think on average, it's something where this could get ugly. All right. And I don't really think you can see any letting up unless there's some situation where, it becomes an injury concern or too hot in an environment where you really want to get your guys ready for March Madness and not so much this game that means kind of nothing as long as you get the win. So that's what we're looking at. I'm going to be locking in St. John's winning by 20. That's we're going to take a minus 19.5 in that spread. Okay, and that'll be 5 official plays on a Tuesday. So really put them out there, firing up. I hope you guys all get outstanding bets in, because this is one where we're really starting to ramp up. I really love this card. And also, I do want to touch on this last game, just because I know a lot of you guys will be watching this primetime game. This is where we look at the 9 o'clock contest, Eastern time on ESPN, Kansas State traveling to Rupp Arena, taking on the Jayhawks. And this is one where it's a little fishy, guys. I got that fish smell just kind of sticking out at me right now. A lot of people, you look at the money, a lot of people are betting Kansas dominating amount of the betting split right now early on. So we're probably going to see that number move up to 11, but it's creeping down to 10.5 in some places, okay? So it's kind of 50-50 on the betting splits, but the money being all on Kansas at this time, but we're seeing that number creep down to 10.5, kind of got me going. So I think in this matchup, I'd be more inclined to take Kansas State, but the number is just a little bit fishy, where, by all accounts, Kansas State is a great home team. They're a great team. I'm going to be taking them pretty decently far in the March Madness bracket. They've been one of my teams that I've been riding with. But in this matchup, McCullough's back for Kansas. We saw the loss to Baylor. I just have a little bit of an alarm, a little bit of Scooby sense, and I know with betting that's kind of not applicable. It's not being objective. It's more subjective in nature. But for me, this is a no play. If anything, it would be Kansas State plus 10.5, but I don't like the line movement. I don't like the betting splits, so it would not shock me if Kansas basically comes out and wins by margin 12-plus points either. So that's why it's a no play, but I wanted to break it down for you guys because this is one where everybody's going to be tuned in. I'm going to be watching it. You guys are going to be watching it. So that about wraps up my college betting preview for Tuesday, March 5th. Guys, make sure you go over to X, follow me on there, and enter the Fanatics giveaway for this March Madness giveaway. Go win a free jersey. Very easy to do. Pin comment down below. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you guys all smash that like button as well, because that is something that's going to very, very much help get this content fired up. Closing in on 1,000 subs. Can't do without you guys. I appreciate you all. We're going to hit that 1,000 subs, I think, with this video, and it's a testament to you guys. So, like I said, appreciate each and every one of you guys, and we'll see you all in the next video. Go cash some tickets.